probably, I've got a few that I need to do hooves on, and I'll probably switch out dogs. Number one, it's hot. Number two, he really struggled last week. This is a different group of sheep. Um, so just try to get one task done. Other video, I think people were a little confused a little bit about why I was pressuring him or when I was pressuring him. There's basically 100 things that you could pressure a dog for at any point in time, and you can pressure intent. So if his intent is wrong and he's stressing the sheep, I can put pressure on him for that. I was working on some specific things then. Some of those had to do a little bit with getting him in close proximity, getting his adrenaline up, and then asking him to control his emotions. And then some of that had to do with him going past a certain point on the sheep to get to balance, and doing it by turning his pressure away from the sheep. So when we walked up to this pen, obviously they weren't doing this before we got in here, so they're nervous. So him being over there in a down, he's fairly relaxed, but he is attentive, and I guarantee he would jump up. And obviously, Mimi, he noticed something going on outside the pen. So he's attentive, he's alert, he's paying attention. He could tone it down further. If he mentally was concerned with how stressed the sheep are, which that's part of him being kind of a loose-eyed dog or a dog that's bred to push, is they're not always concerned with how their livestock feel. And so that's my job, to teach him how to feel what the livestock are feeling, and then relieve pressure or apply pressure based on what they need. So yes, you can pressure your dog for that. It's his responsibility to maintain calmness in the flock, and for them to and for them to trust him. The other thing is he's really more concerned with his own feelings and his own agenda than he is with what we're doing. So I do sometimes pressure him for the intent, because I feel like right there, he went towards the sheep. He wasn't trying to get to the sheep, he was trying to get away from the pressure. So he cares more about his own feelings than he does about the sheep's feelings, and it's my job to have him understand that this is not about him, this is about sheep or cattle or whatever livestock that we're working. There. Hey. I did not ask him to down, so he does have permission to move if he needs to. But his mind needs to be on what I'm trying to get done, and he has zero intent of working for me right now, because he was trying to go in the corner that I'm trying to get these guys packed into and move them out of the corner. Give him jobs, show him the jobs, let him work whenever he's right, correct him when he's inhibiting me from getting the job done, and that can be for his attitude, his movements. He can do that, that's fine. He just needs to keep his head about him. And you see how his patience there paid off. Some of it's about how they handle things too. Just because you own a hammer doesn't mean a hammer is the only tool that you have. The only way we have to communicate with these dogs on livestock is pressure and release. The way he communicates with livestock is by pressure and release. Commands are great, but they don't give the dog responsibility for the way they feel or the job. If you ask a dog to down and they do it, they responded to a command. They did not make a decision based on what they saw happening and respond appropriately. They just did what you told them to do. Try to get these dogs to think a little bit. And he can't think if he's going at warp speed. What I'm going to do now is I am going to send him around so I can shake this up, because all the ones that I've already done are hanging out over here, so I need to move them around. I'll wait. Ghost. There. Hey. There. Hey, there. No. There. Good work. That's what I needed him to do. And I just have to ask him to do it. He's starting to read the job, understand what this is about. And when he started to get a little bit out of hand, wanting to push too much, I just kind of corrected him. And reminded him kind of what I wanted him to do. I'm moving over there doesn't mean I'm sending him around. I'm coming over here to try to get this one. And that may not work out. Come by. There. Away. Hey. There. Kind of lesson in sheep dynamics too. So I have one specific one that hey. One specific one that I still have left to do, and she's put herself right in the middle of the group. So she's probably a leader, but she definitely knows where to put herself so that I can't get to her. So that's kind of why sometimes you'll see shift the sheep around, get the dogs to go around and switch them. And what I'll do now, since I think I am done, is I will send them around a couple times and shift them so that I can see if I forgot anybody. Come by. Hey you! Hey, Hey! See, that rush into pressure there is what he got in trouble for. So he felt the pressure, and instead of dealing with it, moving the sheep appropriately, he rushed forward. Instead of just kind of handling it and going along easy on the fence. So he was in trouble for rushing. And then when I pressured him, he further rushed, and he didn't care which way he was going. He went left, he went right. He was avoiding pressure. So until I got the response out of him that I'm looking to see, I'm going to continue to apply pressure to him. And then when he finally gives into the pressure, then I can ask him up again. Come by. There. Hey. Hey. There. Hey. I don't need him to stop or sit or do anything specific. I do need him to turn into the sheep. There basically gives him a balance point. So if he's continuing on flanking, he's not doing what I asked him to do. So that's what that, hey. Don't need him to move. I know there kind of tells them that he can get up, but if I set the line coming this way and he's moving on the away side to try to hold some sheep in, he's changing the line.